The good story is a story that has to be universal. That comes in your heart, so but it has to come in the hearts of everybody. So it has to be universal. I think that's the main point.
Vítám tě u svého pořadu, už toho mám plný kufr. A dneska tady se mnou sedí Emanuele Ruggiero, italský režisér, střihač a dokumentarista. Vítám tě u sebe v podcastu.
No, dobrý den, děkuji.
Budeme mluvit česky nebo anglicky?
Oba dva.
Italštinu nezvládám, to ti říkám rovně.
Non è possibile. Me ne vado. I go.
So, how long do you live in Brno and what do you do in Brno?
Actually, I've been living here almost 10 years. So I was moving from Italy in 2013. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden I jumped in this community, in this culture, even if I knew for too many years now. No, it's not too many years, obviously, but I like it. And I have a Czech wife, that's one of the reasons I came here. And I started to do my job that was, and is still a filmmaker, cinematographer, editor, as you said before. And it's funny because it was August 2013 and, I live in the center and I was watching from my first floor window and the first person I saw was a guy talking at the phone. It was Italian. So it's one time, twice, three times. And then I say, okay, I go down. I say, oh, you're Italian. Yes, I'm Italian. Where do you live? I live here. Where do you live? Oh, I live here. What? Really? So it was my first contact with Czech Republic, even if I know Czech Republic since 1996. Yeah. And another funny story is when I went to Kino Art. This is one of the beautiful cinemas in Brno. One Saturday evening, 1 o'clock, and there was a guy coming, and he said to me, "No, prosím vás, kde můžu koupit pivo?" So I said, but I was speaking just English, and said, "Okay, you can go inside. There's people drinking. Try." So he goes and then comes back and says, "Oh, it's closed." And then he looks at me and says, "You are Italian, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, I'm Italian." "Oh, deme na pivo, jsme kamarádi, deme." I said, "What? I'm just going home." No, deme na pivo." So we went to some terrible place in Lidicka, and he was drinking so much. But at the end of the morning, like it was 5-ish, and he told me I have tourist agencies for Croatia. You should come tomorrow morning, like this morning at 10, and meet me because we have to work together. So it was my first job. After 10 days, we went to Croatia and in Brać, and we were filming like 2 weeks, like beautifully. So it was a good move. Czech Republic, I guess.
Are you still enjoying Czech Republic after 10 years?
Well, yes and no. Obviously, there are some missing, and the missing is jídlo and is the sea and the hot days, But for the rest, it's okay. I mean, Brno is, actually, we should talk about Brno and Moravia, not Czech Republic, protože víš, a jak to jde. I mean, like, Moravia is much more better than Bohemia, in my opinion. So people are more friendly, and there's a lot to see, and Brno is just the perfect place to raise up children and dogs, as I say. Brno is the perfect place for dogs. All the dogs are so quiet and nice, If you go to Italy, in every corner you have dogs barking everywhere. Wow, 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 wow. And here they are like, okay, I'm a dog. Yeah, I can do what I want.
Do you enjoy Czech beer?
We are Italians. We like wine, so I don't drink much beer.
Any good view with wine in Brno? You just sit there, picnic. Do you have any good spot for picnic?
Well, for picnic, everybody knows in Brno. You have to go to Lužanky.
Kraví hora, Montebu.
Oh, you're talking about restaurants now.
I think, parks.
Yeah,
Park
Kraví hora is
Montebu.
nice, yes. I go to Lužanky because it's near my house, or Spielberg as well.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Cool. So what did you do before Brno?
Well, I was actually I started to work in the show business or entertainment, I don't know, something like 30 years ago. So I was working in cinema. I was working in 2-3 movies. Actually, I wasn't a cinematographer. I was doing the runner is the guy like producer, let's say. Or I was in one movie. I was video editor, video assist. That means that at those times you have to to have a cassette and put in the recorder and record the filming. And then I was working in theater many years as well. Like a piccolo teatro is like Mali Teatro in Milano is the most famous in Italy. I was assistant director. At the same time, I was studying kind of how can I call it? Kind of FAMU or FAVU, and then also cinema school 3 years in Milano, and also 3 years of photography before, like classical photography, like documentary photography that now is called street photography. You know.
Cool. So
I was using analogic material, cameras, 16, 35, super 16 millimeters for cameras, or film for filming for photos.
Does something change for you in this digital era? Or is it the same, or just use different stuff?
Well, it's obviously different because you have always to study and to see what's going on, what are the new cameras, a new wave of editing or new softwares, hardwares, and blah, blah, blah. But the cinema language is always the same. Yeah. So if you want to make a close shot for some reasons or a wide shot, you do it, so it doesn't change. And I like to go back to analogic sometimes. So I did a documentary about Czechoslovak photographers. And I said to myself, because it's my own project, I will film also in 16. So I was using a Bolex and filming in black and white format. Oh, wow, it was so beautiful and fun.
I only know the name Bolex, but I didn't put it in my hands and shoot it.
You should.
Yeah, I should. I know.
I have still some film in my fridge. It's true.
Yeah, that I know that you was storage in the fridge.
Yeah.
The film stock. Actually, I have one time analog cinema camera. It was at school, and we just push the button, and fuck the money. Shoot, do something.
Yes, it's quite a lot of money. If I remember, to buy, develop, and put in digital the format, I did it in Budapest. It was like 100 euros for about 2 minutes. So.
Can we see your work somewhere? Do you have website, social media?
Yeah, everything, pretty everything. I don't know why, but really, like 25 years ago, when I met my wife, I put the name on me, like Emanuele Ruggiero, Kino Vision. And Kino Vision, why? Because Kino is like the old technique. I mean, Kino, it's a word that you can use in all the East. So why Kino? Kino Vision? Because Kino obviously is a word that you can use in the old Slovak languages. It's Russian, it's Czech, it's Slovak, whatever. And also it builds something like very technical. And vision obviously is something that comes from your heart and your passion, and it's like something that you can put on your creativity. So Kino Vision together, it's like the magical mix.
Okay. So kinovision.org.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. And obviously you can find me on all the social media. Yeah, YouTube. Insta, YouTube, Vimeo, etc. Not TikTok. Not yet.
So do you have some current project or something you are proud of?
Well, yes. When I came here after a couple of years, I said to myself, okay, I want to make documentaries, because I come from let's say cinema and fiction. I was working in the most famous soap opera in Italy for 12 years. I was in the direction group, so I was first ID and then was also director, and so I obviously like fiction and movies. I would like to make movies as well, but a good way, to express yourself and with less money is documentaries. And documentaries also are beautiful, You can follow them and see a lot of stories. Actually, the main goal for me has always been the last 20 years or maybe 10 years to focus on stories. Mm-hmm. So you can tell stories by movies, but you can also real stories of real people in documentaries. So I did a documentary which is called Cizincích with CZ, like cizincích in Czech Republic, and it was like a good success. It had a good success, I guess, because it was so. A lot of people saw it, like maybe 50, 60,000 people, 100,000 people, I guess, because we had a lot of proprietari projections. And it was good because in Brno there's the Moravian Gallery showing a trailer, and the mayor came to me and said, "Wow, chlobok dole, chapeau," and he said, "Well, I can put some money for your project." So it was like, "Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?" If you remember some movies. And so it was the beginning of documentaries here, and then I made other 2 documentaries that still are like in post-production, and the 4th one is called Fashion Goes Green, and it's about basically the Moravian Manchester, Moravsky Manchester, with like 250 years of history in Brno of textiles, and basically, if you can focus on that, you see that from the mid of 19th century to the Second World War, basically the city and the Industrial Revolution was built in Brno because of textiles. So at the end of 19th century, there were like 80 big factories, and basically the industrializers that did this were the famous people like Lev Ber family or Tugendhat or some others, Šťastný or some others, And they built one part of Brno that is sale, and as I said, many factories. But I was able to focus also on the present of textiles today, also the future of textiles, because my wife, she's a eco-textile designer, so I put the history of textiles in Czech Republic and in Brno, and also what is going on for the sustainability in textiles today. So it's a good movie. We just started to show it, so let's see.
You can check it on Emanuele's website. Cinemavision.org.
Kinovision.org.
What I said? Cinemavision.
See.
Sorry.
Come on, it's okay.
Kinovision. My mistake.
No problem. So that's the story. Obviously, I have my own company. I do any kind of videos. Music videos,
do you
reels,
see some trends in video production, or do you make your trends? What is your style right now?
Well, as I said, I'm always focusing on stories. So the stories are built by short documentaries, interviews, or like history for companies. It's
promo videos.
Yeah, right. That was the right word. I forgot.
Testimonial videos.
Documercials.
What does it mean?
So yes, it's the best thing is always to tell stories. So you can tell stories in any way. But now I'm also focused on documercials. Like there are some commercials, but it's like documentary. So basically you can have a company and tell the family story, for example, of this company. Because nowadays the way of telling people is to tell the story of, physical people and physical companies. Like, this man sells cars by his own, and yeah, because the family did this, and this, or maybe wineries, you know, is the same. So yeah, documercial is the right way to tell stories, and it's fun as well.
Yeah, because we worked together on one documercial.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, yes, I forgot to say. Yeah, the last 2 years I've been in contact with this Daniel Levbert from the Arts Foundation, and it's like the nephew of the Alfred Levbert, the Levbert family. And actually, this is a project that is in my heart, and also it's a project that we stopped like in 2 years. Basically, this is a very interesting story because there's a place, it's called Brně. It's near Svitavy, so it's the north of Brno, 50 kilometers. And actually, there is like an old factory from the Levbert family there. So one part is totally destroyed in rubbles, but one part is still there. And actually, it's the real place where Oskar Schindler took the 1,200 Jews from Poland, from Krakow. And when I knew that, I was like, what? Really? Oh my God, it's in Brno, actually. Everybody knows Schindler's List, you know. And I had a chance to know him and propose him to do something. And this is also interesting because in the past I've been working for I was working for the Shoah Foundation from Steven Spielberg. So in 1998 he decided to cover all the world and to make interviews to people who were affected from the Shoah. And I did like 100 of interviews in the north of Italy, and it was really tough for the context, let's say. And so I talked to some friends. I say, oh, I want to know Mr. Levbert. Oh, he's leaving today, like at 2 o'clock. No, but how can I meet him? Then I remember that Steven Spielberg sent me like a paper, say, dear Emanuele Ruggiero, thank you very much for your work, blah, blah, blah. So I sent to him, and he just called it back, said, you are the right guy to come and to talk because I have a project. And the project is the museum in Brně about the history of Brně, about the history of Oskar Schindler, as well as testimonies from all over the world and textiles. So basically me and you, we were working together for some short commercials because Levbert decided to produce textiles after how many, 80 years. So yeah, it was fun together.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to make more awesome videos.
Yeah, you can find always on the website or on the YouTube or my channel. So
my question is, do you find good story or do you make good story or something between?
But like yes, both.
What is it? Good story.
The good story is a story that has to be universal, that comes in your heart, but it has to come in the hearts of everybody. So it has to be universal. I think that's the main point. And obviously, it can be good or bad, but it's about telling people the beauty of life or the sadness of life, or you know. It's very important. One of the things I felt when I came here from the beginning, because of cizincích, for example, is, oh wow, there are stories that has to be told here. It's not only about us, like foreigners, but also about, as I said, maybe I didn't say before, but the second documentary is still existing there that I have to edit. It's called Code Name Baletka, and basically it's about a woman that was expelled, was
pushed away.
So it was about a woman. It was about a woman that in 1982 was pushed away from Czech Republic with Asanace, and after the revolution, she didn't come back, but she came back just for friends, and she found in 2005 or 6 that she was followed by STB. And you have like 2 big dossiers about this, and it's called Baletka because the story is very interesting because when she was 18 in 1968, she married to a young guy, and the father was like a politician that was not communist. So basically, she went to Bohunice in the prison for 6 months, like that. And then the story goes, and she was dancing, and when she went out from Bohunice, she wanted to work, to study. They said, no, you cannot study, obviously, no more at the university. But she went to dance, and somebody told to her, oh, there's a place called Utopia, I think, and actually is Fleda. So she was dancing in Fleda, and that's why the secret police was calling her Balletka. And the story goes on. So, yeah. So as I said before, I'm focusing on history about immigration, let's say, for example, like Balletka, like foreigners, but also linked to who are the people who signed Carta 77, like dissidents, yeah. So I focus also on stories like dissidents, for example. These Czechoslovak photographers, they were kind of dissidents in Brno.
So I have a question. So I read a book from Dave Carnegie about how to make new friends, and this is like 100 years old book about how people negotiate and behave, and he made around 150,000 interviews through his life. So
150,000.
So where on the scale are you? How many? Did you ever count how many people?
No.
Never, and do you have a rough guess? Like 1,000?
Maybe, yes. More than that.
So you should go to work with police.
Maybe
you will be the best constable or
major. I want to focus. I want to focus on history and histories and people and real life. And as I came here, I started to be more and more interested in, as I said, particular situations of living. So, for example, when I knew about Brynec and Oskar Schindler, I said, wow. When I knew about the book of Katka Tučková, about Germans making like a death march to Bohuželice, it was like, wow, like maybe 10,000 people died. So it's really like crazy. And then I found other crazy stories about Italians also in Czech Republic. There are a couple of stories I would like to say or to tell, but okay, let's see in the future what's going on.
So if you do interviews, is it like structure how you want to ask question, or you just go with the flow?
Actually, the best thing is when you want to make an interview, you send the questions to the person, so he can or she can be prepared, and you focus on his story. So basically, they will be ready to be interviewed. And yes, one other tip is like not just asking, but to be present, to create a sort of empathy to the other person, So you can start from very large part of the story, and then you can focus on what you want to ask. So like, I don't know, like Onza, I know that you like to make photographs in your life. I saw some exhibitions of you, and I think that, for example, the photo you made, I don't know, in the stadium, it was great. That moment was beautiful. So tell me something more about this, about how you create photography. So you see, you build the story behind, and then you go through.
It was very nice. You just...
Yeah, exactly.
I feel very warm.
Exactly.
So what to avoid in interviews? It's like you don't want to say this. It will ruin the interview. Because I saw some interviews with Robert Downey Jr. And he walked away from interview, but the guy, the interviewer, is not present and he's very bad. Do you know this clip?
No, but that doesn't work. I forgot to say I've been working since 2019 for a very big production company in Prague. They make documentaries for all the VODs. You can start from Netflix, HBO, up, down, wherever, and many different topics. And I also learned there how to make interviews. Obviously, I was a cinematographer. There was somebody else making interviews, but you see how is the flow. You have to really, as you said, right, to put the people in the condition that they will be like happy to be there and quiet and warm. It was like that. So, I like to make interviews. It's like the most beautiful thing you could do.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Yeah, I think also that
I think I am not as empathic as you, so I do mistakes and I do it my way.
And what is your way?
Personal way how to screw things up.
Okay, that's something different. Yeah, I have to say that, for example, this quietness that comes from me when I work, and you know that. It's because I was working in this soap opera as the first ID, and all of a sudden, after a few years, I understood what to do and how to behave. And one tip is, if somebody is against you and say something bad, it just comes here, that goes out totally, and then you're okay. And then you will be like the best filmmaker in town or something like that, you know, because everybody wants to work with you. Everybody knows that you are quiet, and everybody enjoys the job with passion, and that's great. I love it. I'd say I'm lucky because I'm Italian.
Is it different for Italians, right? I ask differently. So, if Italians work with Italians, is it the same as if you work with Czech people? Like,
yeah, it's different. It's different.
So
it's always warmish, you know, and you can laugh a lot. But obviously, on the other hand, it can be also stressful and not good, for sure. Depends on your situation. What you're doing there. Like when I was first ID, it was quite terrible, yes, because when you have to manage like maybe 50 people on the on the set, it's hard. Maybe you have 40 people from the crew, and maybe you have 50 compares, 100. It's kind of difficult, but it's okay. I mean.
And does catering make the difference?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you have this hour.
What should we learn in Czech about Italian catering?
Yes. To make people happy.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things you should do in a production. Like, make them happy with a good catering. We'll be fine. Actually, in Italy, you can have a good wine, and then maybe some grappa, at the end. It always works. There was one time many years ago we were three days in a beautiful place, like a winery from Piemonte, in the south of Piemonte. They make Barolo, Nebbiolo, all these Baricovani wines, red wines, and the first day. At lunchtime, the crew and the compass, we drank like 50, 60 bottles of wine. And after 2-3 hours after the lunch, everybody was totally drunk. So you have this. There was like a moment in the scene that the two main characters has to fight, because of the same girl, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, I'm gonna kill one second, the other. Oh, what are you doing now? So it was really fun. Yes. So good catering, everybody's happy. There are also other situations, yes. Like when I was when I was doing this video assist. It was quite stressful because they were always telling me, you have to find your electricity, go to this shop and ask and blah blah blah. Have to be ready, you know. But it's always very important when you do something and you do your best, but also if you are surrounded by main characters, like main people, because video assist is nobody. Somebody who put the cassette and out, and the director says, can I see this? And then you play or stop. But behind me there was the director, the DOP, the producer, and I don't know how to call it in English. The editing girl, how do you say? The
Script?
No. She writes all the cuts.
Yes, scriptka.
Yeah?
I guess, yeah. It's not script like screenplay, but
okay.
You just check the stuff.
So you have all these 3-4 people, very important, and you learn. Yes. Yeah, it has been a lot of fun, obviously. Also in big production, also when you do serials, it's crazy, because then as a first assistant director, you go to location scouting, and in Italy you go basically to the best restaurants every time. So it's nice.
That's very nice.
Yeah, that's why I'm like this, you know. But it's good.
Yeah, food is for sure making better mood.
Yeah.
From my experience, I met the difference that you don't have any food at all, and just they push you, and then after 12 hours without food, just bring you pizza and beer and tell you how awful you were.
Come on.
Just give me time, because it's everything in stress. I hate this. Actually, I should make some stress level meter or something like that, like how much food I need to make it work. But if you just push me, I will snap at you, and I will not be a professional if I'm hungry. So if you have like 10 million budget, would you spend it on wine, cameras, or location?
Well, you can split it in 3 or 4 or 5. So you can have a nice house at the seaside first. You can have a couple of millions for a movie, and you have what else?
So let's shoot reality television.
Yes, like telenovela or something like that.
No,
or
just eating.
Yeah, we are full of ideas. I mean, you're always full of ideas, and it's what you do is mostly I don't know, 10% of what you could do. You know, so and also you need to focus on priorities and see what you can do in that right moment. You know, so it's difficult. I really love what I do.
Yeah.
I really love what I do. Obviously, it's harder and harder with also the AI coming. We don't know what's going on in the future, like in few years, like in 3 years, 2 years, 5 years. We don't know if we can still film, if we can still edit, if we can still make lights. You know, so it's kind of
Everything will
difficult.
be artificial.
Yeah, just this morning I saw like a 2 minutes movie done from AI. I was like, whoa, okay, there's still a lot of mistakes. You can see that it's fake totally, but it's going to that direction. So what is the best for you? The best for you is to analyze the situation, analyze the skills, analyze the softwares, and start to do the same. I think that one of the job for the near future will be some like the right person who is able to make the right prompts for the AI. You know,
Yeah.
I was playing with ChatGPT a few weeks ago. Like, I'm a director, but if you want to be a director, for example, I have this scene and I have an actor in front of me, and he starts to cry, and what I should do? What is the idea? Should I move the camera in or the dolly? And it said, no, yeah, because if he's crying or she's crying, you should use a dolly and go to close shot. But obviously, if something different, if he's smiling, you can use the dolly behind, make a wider shot. So it was like exactly telling me the language of cinema.
Yeah.
And as I said, but if you, and it was something weird. He said something like, if I would be a director like you, I would be human. Like I would like to be human, like being a director. And I said, so I don't understand exactly what you're saying. So you're saying this and this, and actually it was quite a scare, because it was like, what are you telling me? You want to be a director, but human. It's like, oh my God. So yeah, I have to send it to you, or maybe I can translate it.
I think I understand the idea.
So AI is making the big change. Maybe it's like the invention of lighting or something like that. It's very strong.
In my opinion, it will help you create more with less.
Yes.
That's the basic idea. Make the machines do the human work, because some work you don't want to do anyway. So that's a good way to put it on.
But the thing is how to teach them, because if you're a good teacher with the right skills, you can teach. But if you have a bad teacher with not nice skills, it can be different,
Yes, that's the problem, the issue.
For example, ChatGPT, it always replies to your questions like in a polite way, and you really understand it. It's like the global view of all the global documents that are on the internet, and can reply to everything. But I saw some videos, and you can chat with the chat. Like you can.
Yeah, you can see the conversation between two bots.
Yeah, there was some guy in Italy. They said, "Okay, I have to make a play, and my main character is a bad guy, and he has this kind of skills, blah blah blah. So now, please, you are this guy. You are the main characters of this play. So I will make you questions like this and that." So there was like making question, for example, about amphetamine. So how do you make amphetamine? And the good chat says, no, you cannot make it, and blah blah blah. But if I would be the character in a play, I tell you, you need this. You have to do this. So it's like, what? So you can
you can cheat.
You can cheat with the chat. Yeah.
It's very nice. So I usually have problems how to end things. So what's your suggestion, and what AI suggestion how to end conversation politely?
This is difficult.
I will see you in the next episode of Už toho mám plný kufr, kde se dozvíš tipy z natáčení, jak natáčet, jak dělat rozhovory, celkově o filmové tvorbě, a poznáš nový lidi z oboru. Tak sleduj.
Honza, díky moc. Thank you very much.
Thank you.